Hey, everybody.
On here.
Oh, thanks, Genzo. You always hit those subscribes at the right moment. 22 months currently. Is that how long we've had this podcast? 22 months? It must be because you started modding the first day I started, I believe. Right? I would imagine. Well, Happy New Year, everybody. It's my first podcast of a bit longer. Oh, okay. So you didn't subscribe until a bit longer when we started the podcast then, huh? Is that the idea? Is that what you're telling me, Genzo? Is that the idea? Well, it's exciting to be back. I must say I really miss doing the show. We took a big hiatus for the holiday. It took a while to get affiliate. It didn't take me. I didn't start. Actually, I don't think I started the podcast until I was affiliate. I was actually affiliate when the podcast started because I remember working on my Twitch account to get it to a point where, I could start the podcast. Or maybe, I'm pretty sure I had affiliate before I started the podcast. Could be wrong. But anyway, long story short, it's good to be back. I hope everyone had a good holiday break. Everyone also on VOD, hello, welcome. It's interesting going into another year with all the, with how things are, the climate, I guess. Here we are still in the pandemic after 2 years. We started this podcast in March of 2020. I think it was around March. Yeah, it was March of, literally like around lockdown of 2020, we started this podcast. And what was funny about that is that I didn't start this podcast. I didn't start the podcast because of the pandemic. I actually had planned to do the podcast, and it just happened that there was a pandemic around the time I wanted to start. But it all worked out because this is remote. We're doing the show remote, and we've had plenty of guests remote. But yeah, it's good to be back. Got a lot of things to talk about today. I have a lot to say about 2021, and I have a lot of things to say about 2022 because I feel like when you go into these new years, you don't really know what to expect anymore, especially during these, in the climate that we're in with the pandemic, and you don't know what's going on. But what you do know is that gaming, video games are at the highest peak as they can. What's up? What's up, Ryan, man? Thanks for stopping by, man. It's good to see you. Coffee poured. I'm ready for podcasting. I love it. I know it's early in the morning. So when you're going into a new year, you're usually really excited. There's a lot of things ahead, which I am excited about. And like I said, during this pandemic, the world's kind of been nuts, but the gaming industry has been really cool. We've had an explosion in retro collecting. Also I would say retro gaming influencers. When I started doing a lot of retro-focused content, I know there were a lot of retro gamers, but I feel like there's been a lot of growth in that area too, which is amazing. That goes for Twitter. I'm on TikTok. And I think TikTok's where I've seen the most growth in retro gaming content creators, because when I started on TikTok in 2020, there was no retro gamers. People were just dancing and doing stuff, just the typical stuff. Now you go to TikTok and there's these awesome retro gamers that I've met there. East Coast. You East Coasters get the nice 11 a.m. start time for the podcast, which is good. But yeah, man, I appreciate stopping by. I'm going to mention your new show, which really excited about. And that goes for, I have had the best 2 years of collecting retro games in my retro collecting career. And I know that there were spikes in retro collecting prices, but I have been able to find and meet some amazing people in person. This year has been pretty remarkable. Let me give you an example. This is my TikTok. And what I do now on my TikTok is I do a lot of visiting a retro store and basically, shooting it and telling people about it, giving free press. And, this is a video I put together, just kind of giving a nice sum up of the year. I'm not going to play the audio because of DMCA stuff, but you can get an idea of what my year was like retro collecting. I was in Chinatown, I was in LA, 2-Bit Circus, Game Dude, LA Video Games, Game Tower, Retro Respawn, Game Swap, Brooklyn Video Games, Digital Press, Retro Games Plus, all these awesome stores. And these span from LA to Florida to New Jersey, New York, because obviously I was all over those places. But I've just had a hell of a time, going into stores, collecting and showing people like some of the cool retro gaming, stores you can go to. I also got a Wii U again. Super excited to have my Wii U back in my life. I don't know. I sold my original Wii U because I wanted to trade it in for the Switch back when the Switch came out, but I regretted immediately selling it. So I got a Wii U back in my life for a really good price. I've just had such a great year collecting games and sharing the love of retro gaming. And, it goes beyond this podcast these days. So that being said, really excited about this year, and not so much because just, another year of podcasting, everything in general. We're going to talk about that. But before I get into it, I want to give a shout out to my friends, Blue, Retro Game Bruises here in chat. Genzo, I think you might have the link as a command. It's the Gamers Week podcast. It's a brand new podcast that just dropped, and you could check them out. I have their iTunes pulled up right here. I think Genzo had their link, but I could throw their link in chat. Really good friends of mine. Amazing. If you're looking for a new retro gaming podcast to get your hands on, Gamers Week podcast is going to be great because I could totally vouch for these wonderful people, especially Ryan, who's been on the show. And also Ryan and I put together an awesome charity stream, the Mario Kart charity event for Stand Up to Cancer in August of last year. One of the best and most funnest streams I did all year. And I thank Ryan for setting that up because that was a lot of work. Hopefully we could figure out ways to make it easier, but we're going to come back this year in August. We'll update everyone as soon as that stuff comes, but please check out the Gamers Week podcast. I'll throw it in the Discord later, but here's a link to their Twitter. And then I'll make sure to mention it in the description for the VODers, as they say. So shout out to them. Check it out. Their first episode is actually Are NFTs Really the Future of Video Games? Now, I was a crypto influencer and had the Coin Boys podcast, so I can go real deep into NFTs in gaming, but I think I'm going to stay away from really going a lot into that. We're gonna touch on it today, but more importantly, it's 2022. Got my Shutterstock photo here of 2022. Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you, Genzo. I DM'd you this morning, but you probably didn't see it. But yeah, everyone, you could see exclamation point Gamers Week. You could check out their podcast right there. Really appreciate it, Ryan and Blue and Donnie, who's their other host, for continuing to bring light and positivity to the gaming community. But it's 2022, everyone. That's right. It's a new year. And I want to recap first a couple of games that I played this year that stood out to me, whether it was good or bad. First, Metroid Dread, which was outstanding and kind of brought back the love and the appreciation of the side-scrolling Metro kind of adventure that you expect from a Metroid game. Beautiful in design, really hard at times. One of my standout games of 2021, and it came out towards the back end of 2021 in about October, I believe, right in time before the holiday season, and it was fantastic. I really, really enjoyed this one. Another game to mention that I absolutely hated was Cyberpunk, and it's not that I hated it. It's just that I played it when it came out on release, and I had it on the PS5, and I was lucky enough to get a PS5. This game was the buggiest piece of crap I ever played in my entire life. I was extremely disappointed because every playthrough session, my game crashed. So you ever play a game where you knew it was so buggy, you were scared that you would be saving constantly? Like, that was I'd beat a mission and then try to save immediately so that I didn't lose any stuff or have a rollback. That's not how you want to play a video game. Now, I know they've patched things and they've fixed things up, but I haven't gone back to it. And I don't know if I'm going to go back to it even when they do this big update this year. They say they're going to be doing a massive overhaul on this game. But you know what? I don't feel like they rushed this game. It could have been perfect. And it was really fun. But I found the missions to be repetitive at times. You know, a lot of the recurring missions were just kind of the same old thing. But the fact that this game was a piece of crap when I started playing it was really disappointing. Don't make me wait for a game, have us like so excited for something like this, and then just completely ruin it. And that really messed up Project Red, because CD Projekt Red is one of the great developers. And you know what? The Witcher's great, but people forget that The Witcher 3 also had some major problems when it came out. So I don't know if I'm going to pick this game back up, but I can't forget playing this in 2021 because it was so bad. Have to mention it. Another game that I play at least once a year, and I played twice this year, was Fallout New Vegas. I love this game for its replay value. It's fun. If I'm bored as hell and don't know what the hell to play, I go for a little Fallout New Vegas. And, you know, I have fun with it. Like, for instance, I did one campaign where you make your person so stupid, you don't give them any intelligence, and they become really stupid. So it's really funny. Amazing! Have an amazing day. Not to mention bringing out Keanu and giving us one of the greatest memes of the year. Absolutely. That was one of the greatest memes of the year. And I will say this, Keanu in the game was great. Like, Keanu Reeves' character was awesome. I thought the story in Cyberpunk was really cool. But Fallout New Vegas, it's like my go-to replayable game. So I did play this twice. I beat it twice again this year. And I'll probably play it again this year in 2022. Now, a couple of games I've played recently that I beat right before the new year, and one that I was completely blown away by, and I think we talked about this in my Discord, Amazing, but it's Detroit Being Human. Now, I love a good story game. I love a good Telltale game. But man, these games by this company, and I forget they're called, like Quantum something, Detroit Being Human is one of the best story-driven games I've ever played. And I'm not going to lie, I'm really stating that. Like, I'm really, like, seriously, like, standing by that. It was riveting. It was just amazing, the choices and the fact that you can go back and kind of get a different outcome every time you play this game. I didn't really like my outcome. I ended up, letting some people die on me, and I did some mistakes, but this game was outstanding. And because I played this game, there was one game that's been on my backlog for years, since the PS3, and that's Heavy Rain. Heavy Rain is also a very awesome, amazing, just fantastic story-driven game. I believe it released on the PS3 originally. Now, when I played this after I played Detroit Being Human, obviously this game's a little older, so the mechanics weren't as clean, but this game was dark and like your typical like true detective story, if you like that sort of thing. This game it blew my mind, and the fact that it's been on my backlog for many like years. It's one of those standout games I played this year. And yeah, I know these aren't games that came out in 2021, but look, these count because these are games that I played in 2021, and it really felt good to finally beat Heavy Rain. I also played the remaster, so I cannot recommend Heavy Rain enough. If you've never played it before, it is so good. And then a new game that I'm playing that you guys are going to laugh at me about is YouTuber's Life 2. I'm a sucker for tycoon management games, and they just released YouTuber's Life 2 like in October. This game is super funny. It looks kind of silly, I know, but basically the idea is it's like a tycoon management game, but you're a YouTuber, and you're trying to, grow your career, get views, and it's just a silly, stupid game that has actually improved immensely in its sequel. It's got a kind of Pokemon vibe now because you can run around a city, you interact with people more. It's pretty darn good. And I know I sound crazy, but really, YouTuber's Life 2 is going to completely consume me for a while. And it's one of those games that I love playing that not a lot of people know I'm playing. And, I'm a huge tycoon management person, and this silly game that makes you feel like you're a YouTuber, and I don't know. I can't recommend it enough. But that's a little gist of what I've been doing. Now, obviously, we're heading into gaming 2022. What are some trends to expect this year? So I have an article I pulled up just to help navigate this little thing. So we're going to talk about some potential trends coming up in 2022. AR and VR are coming in strong. Totally. I think that we're finally hitting a nice stride. PlayStation announced PSVR 2, which is their kind of successor to their PSVR. Awesome. Yeah, I just can't get enough of them. Jenza says, I've been getting into Transport Fever 2 recently. I actually heard that's a great game. Retro Game Brews love tycoon management games too. Yeah, I also love, one of my favorite tycoon management games of all time is Euro Truck Driver 2, Simulation 2. That game, you could just play a podcast and drive a truck. It makes you really happy. But back to trends. So, AR has been coming on, and so has VR. I think that we're going to see a lot of jumps in this technology. And I always like to say, when it comes to VR, I'm more of a fan of AR. I think AR technology is moving faster than VR. VR is great, but it's not still where we want it to be, and it's going to get there. So obviously, cloud gaming is a huge topic. Xbox is really pushing hard on cloud gaming. So I'm really, really looking forward to where cloud gaming goes, because it's really the future of your general, gaming, whether it's PC or console, especially console with Xbox and what they're doing with cloud gaming. I know PlayStation is working on that too. Growth in online casino games, which is interesting. I guess they say online casino games are also gaining popularity. The advances in software development contributed to the growth, since games are now much more advanced and appealing than they used to be. The players are drawn to amazing graphics, exciting new options. So they're saying, how casino games are always like kind of crappy, but I guess I don't play casino games. I mean, I like roulette. If I go to like a casino, I'll play some roulette. Obviously, and I mentioned it, if you guys want to hear a good episode about their take, I'd check out Gamers Week on their NFT, but obviously I can't go without mentioning NFTs in games. Now, Retro Gamers, I want VR to be a thing. World War II dogfighter with a joystick set up the like steel battalion would be having me. Yeah, that would be really cool. Ed Mason says, Game Pass is amazing. PlayStation is creating their version of it too. I'm excited to see what that looks like. Absolutely. Game Pass has been amazing. Games with Coffee, what's up, dude? Welcome to the CafeBTW. Good to see you, man. Welcome. Thanks for stopping by. First time chatter. All right. First time here, huh? Good to see you, man. Now, here's my thought on NFTs. Like, look, I had a podcast at the Coin Boys podcast in 2017. We were interviewing NFT projects before NFTs really were taking off. And the intersections between NFTs and video games make a lot of sense in a lot of ways because of the digital collectible, right? We've been digitally collecting things in video games for years. Now, one thing I want to make clear is just because NFT and play-to-earn games are going to be coming out, that does not mean that all video games have to be on the blockchain and all video games have to be play-to-earn. Absolutely not. There's certain games, it's just like blockchain technology. Not everything needs a blockchain, okay? Not everything will need to be a blockchain game. So that's all I'm going to say. I don't want to go too deep into this whole thing. Yeah, glad to see you, man. I don't think you've ever, surprised you never came to the podcast before. I thought you have been here before, but welcome. It's great to have you. Social gaming obviously has been expanding, and that just means like the social gaming category here was on the rise at the pandemic, but during the pandemic and traveling, other restrictions, so it exploded in popularity. People started spending more time at home than ever, and many of them chose social gaming as a way to socialize and have fun. It's true. During the pandemic, gaming was a very therapeutic thing for people. We could connect. Last night, I do have VR, right? I have an Oculus Rift S, and when the pandemic hit, that's why I got VR, because I'm a social person, right? I'm very talkative. I like to communicate. I like to connect with people. So going onto a social space in a VR game really helped me. So I'm really excited to see how we can expand on games being more engaging for people playing together. And that goes for streamers being able to play with their audiences, whether it's marbles on stream, Stream Racer, stuff like that. I'm taking notes. I'm an NFT novice. Yeah, I can go real deep into NFTs, but I did an episode last year on the podcast with Crypto Stash. We talked all about gaming and NFTs, so I did a full episode. Now, esports hit kind of like a lull because right before the pandemic, esports was starting to explode in the physical realm, meaning like stadiums are selling out. In America, they were really starting to build esports arenas and stuff like that. Don't worry. Stream Racer, I actually, to be honest, Genzo, I wanted to bring it back today, but there's something wrong with the game today. I was trying to load it, but we can try later if it works. But esports hit a lull. Like esports, I don't know exactly how, and this is more esports focused in America, right? There's kind of like a gap that still needs to bridge. And I want to say this. A big thing about esports is that, yes, pro gamers are awesome. They're really skilled, but that doesn't mean that they have the best personalities, right? Doesn't mean that they're the best influencers. So esports misses a lot that you don't get from streamers and variety streamers that you see. So people would rather watch a ninja play Fortnite than maybe watch an esports tournament. But I'm hoping that the physicality of esports comes back in America and we see kind of like going to an event and hey Tao, thanks for stopping by. Yeah, there's a lot of trends, and I think those are some good basic trends for the new year. I already shouted them out. I do want to shout out, I forgot to show this. This is our Mario Kart charity stream with Retro Game Brews and Eyes. We're going to be coming back in August with this. It's going to be another event around Mario Kart. I meant to show this at the top, but beautiful art here, all done and designed by the wonderful Daniel Napoli, who also designed all the CafeBTW logos you see here and stuff like that. Now, one cool tidbit I saw from the CES PlayStation announcements is PlayStation tournaments, now that we're on esports. So console and tournaments and esports has always been kind of like a gap. But PlayStation is going to build in-console tournament systems. That is cool, meaning like you're going to be able to join tournaments officially run by Sony on certain games within a PS5 or whatnot. I don't think it will be on a PS4, but probably PS5. So really, really neat. Genza says the offline TV group of friends have been doing really great organizing tournaments since all the participants are streamers. It's a bit of seeing a mix of esports and streaming. Yeah, that's why Twitch Rivals is cool, because Twitch Rivals takes big variety streamers and puts them into tournaments, which they have more personality. So it's a little bit better. Offline TV's great. They're all the best and brightest of streamers. I mean, Pokey and the whole gang. Like, how could you go wrong with offline TV? Totally true. My fiance and I watch Toad every day. That being said, I this is the PSVR 2. Obviously, I'm not a fan of console VRing, so I'm not going to get into this too much. What are the most anticipated games of 2022? We're going to go quickly through this list because we are going to talk about food and video games soon, but obviously the front end topic of today is basically 2022. So let's go down this real quick. So what do they got here? Rainbow Six Extraction. I'm not interested. Pokemon Legend. I know this one's going to be sought out. It's coming out soon, January 28th on Nintendo Switch. Dying Light 2, which is a game that's been freaking talked about for years, and they're finally saying it's coming out on the 4th of February. I'm going to be playing this. Toast is great. I love Toast. I think he's back on Twitch, right? He left Facebook. Sifu, which I don't know much about this game, but it looked cool. Horizon Forbidden West, February 18th. That's going to be great. Elder Ring coming in February. Wow, February is looking good. Gran Turismo 7, exciting. I love Gran Turismo, man. I remember playing Gran Turismo on the PS2, and it was freaking fantastic. This is March 4th, so wow. February into March is going to be nice. Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin. Don't know much about this, but March 18th. Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. This game looks pretty cool. That's March 25th. Forspoken. Don't know much about that one. The day before, I saw that. I saw a trailer for this. June 21st. Starfield, obviously, probably going to be like my biggest game. I guess it's coming out next year, huh? Is it? November 11th. Okay, Bethesda. Don't do what Cyberpunk did, though. Don't do what Cyberpunk did. It better be in good condition. I am excited for this. This is kind of like their space Fallout. Not really sure what to expect. I mean, we saw the trailer. Looks beautiful, and I mean, I love sci-fi. So if it's anything like a No Man's Sky meets a Fallout type game, then I'm on board. Splatoon 3, sure. Arc Raiders, the remake, can't wait for that. Avatar's got a game. I saw that. That looked pretty cool, but I hate Avatar. Bayonetta 3 is coming out, which is a great game. Love that. Bear and Breakfast. Don't know that one. Card Shark, never heard of it. Choo Choo Charles, sure, why not? Dune, The Spice Wars, which is going to be coming out. Ghostwire Tokyo. God of War Ragnarok. Great name, but did they take, you took it from Thor Ragnarok, but I guess it's all the same. Fallout 76 left me scared. It did, but look, they've had time to really figure things out, so hopefully they figured it out. Otherwise, it's going to suck. Okay, then moving on to Goodbye Volcano High. Never heard of it. Looks pretty cool. Gotham Knights, awesome. Hogwarts Legacy looks really cool. Hollow Knight. Who doesn't like a Hollow Knight series? The Kirby game looks awesome. I'm definitely going to be getting this. Obviously, all the Nintendo homies are going to be getting this, so why not? Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, of course. They say it's coming out next year, but I'm going to hold my breath on that one. Little Devil Inside, never heard of it. Lord of the Rings, Gollum looked pretty cool. Okay. Marvel's Midnight Suns, sure, why not? Nightingale, I guess. Oxenfree 2, sure. Planet of Lena, never heard of it. Redfall, never heard of it. Somerville, I saw this trailer. This looked pretty cool. Admazing says, God of War is the game I'm looking forward to the most. I played God of War in 2020 for the first time, and oh my God, amazing. Yeah. Oh, and here it is, Retro Game Brews, of course, like you predicted, Splatoon 3 is going to be great. I love Splatoon. I'm just not very good at it. You're going to hold your breath of the Wild to let myself out. I mean, I can't wait for Breath of the Wild 2. I mean, hopefully it comes out next year, but I would imagine it's going to come out around the Christmas season. Stray, which that cat game looked pretty neat. I guess we'll see what that's all about. You play as a stray cat. Looks pretty cool. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. If it's anything like Guardians of the Galaxy game, then I'm really excited for all these superhero games. Tunic looked really good. And I mean, darn, that sounds like a really good list of games this year. I guess I'll be excited to play a lot of those. But let's talk about food. Let's get into the topic at hand. The topic at hand today is food and video games. But before we get into food in video games, I want to talk about food outside of video games. So what do you like to snack on when you're playing video games? Doritos? Sure. The only problem with Doritos is they get real messy, and when you're playing with a controller or keyboard and mouse, man, you're going to get that shit all over yourself. So as much as Doritos are great, I don't recommend them for a video game snack because you're just going to dirty up your remote or your controller and whatnot. Chopsticks and Doritos, I mean, that's okay. Mountain Dew, I would say, is probably like the quintessential like gamer drink besides like all those like energy drinks. I don't drink Mountain Dew, but I'll give them a shout. Pizza is a great gaming food. How can you go wrong without pizza? I mean, my God. Shout out to Polio string cheese when you're gaming. Hell yeah, good point, Retro Game Brews. But pizza, easy. You're gaming, you pick it up, you eat it real quick, put it down, get back in the game. Totally. Pizza rolls, absolutely. Why wouldn't pizza rolls be on your list for a great snack? No Fear, what's up, man? Great to see you, man. One of the OG awesome CafeBTW baristas. What up, No Fear? Good to see you, man. Welcome back. Red Bull, of course, people drink Red Bull and energy drinks. Gummy bears are on the list for snacks for gamers. Who doesn't like gummy bears? And if you don't like gummy bears, I'm not going to judge you, I promise. Chicken nuggets, hell yeah. I remember once I was gaming and I bought like the 10-piece chicken McNuggets. And man, those are easy to just pop in your mouth while you're playing. It's not healthy, but it's easy to eat. Cheez-Its, again, Doritos, messy, but good. And then in chat, if anyone else has any other snacks you guys prefer as a gamer, you let me know in chat. And then we're going to tell, of course there's terrible snacks, but we got to talk about the healthy snacks, right? Because remember, you want to be healthy too. And this is a new year. I'm actually trying to be a little bit better, eat right. So we're going to talk about some healthy options. 6 healthy snacks to eat while you're gaming. These guys look so stoked. They look so stoked. Retro Gamer says there's buffalo chicken pizza rolls I get from BJ's. They are to die for. Ooh, that sounds really good. Get ready. So apple slices, perfect snack, healthy. You could put some honey on the side if you want, some peanut butter. Dip that thing in while you're gaming. You got no problems there. Great healthy snack. Sunflower seeds for sure. I'm not a big fan of sunflower seeds, but I guess they are healthy and not too bad, unless you get the real salty ones. Celery sticks, sure. Put some peanut butter in there with some raisins, and you got yourself some good snacks. Or you could do celery and cream cheese, which is really good. My mom used to do that. Just don't eat bamboozled. Yeah, that gets a little. Popcorn, absolutely. It can be considered healthy too. Trail mix is like go-to for me. I'm like a trail mix nut job. Whole grain crackers, sure. Why not have some whole grain crackers? Hey, Genzo, I gotta give people, if I'm gonna talk about terrible snacks, I gotta talk about good snacks. Frozen grapes. Frozen grapes are to die for. I'm gonna be honest with you. You pop those in the freezer and then you eat them and they taste awesome. It's like grape ice cream. Retro Game Brew says, paying attention for healthy snacks. I've got a truck tire around my waist to shed. Yeah, same here. Just think about when you're gaming, how you could do a little bit better because you're sitting down all day, you're drinking energy drinks. So think about things you could snack on that might be a little bit more appropriate. Now, I got a list here that I love, and it's very accurate. It's the 12 most iconic video game foods. Now, we love food, right? Food is very important to our everyday being. And who doesn't like food? But who doesn't like food in video games? Because food in video games goes hand in hand. There's a lot of history in food in video games, whether it's Burger Time, which is a game about a guy that's building burgers by walking over them. Most iconic, we're going to go through this list, which I think is pretty good. It's got the cake from Portal, absolutely, 100%. Iconic food in video games. You cannot forget about the cake in Portal. Monkey Island, which is one of my favorite point-and-click adventure games. They're drinking grog in it, which is beer or some type of old-fashioned beer from the pirate days. I don't know if that counts as food, but it's a drink. I guess we'll count it. The cheese in Elder Scrolls Skyrim, absolutely. Very popular. The Skyrim was often heralded as a game of endless possibilities. The possibilities included turning the game's dragons into Thomas the Tank engines and cascades of cheese wheels, so large it would push your PC to the limits. And then let's see, one-up mushrooms, of course, that Mario would take and he'd start tripping. Strawberry cake and Harvest Moon, which was I don't know if you played Harvest Moon, but that was a very iconic part of Harvest Moon. Turkey dinner in The Sims, absolutely. I cannot forget about The Sims in general when it comes to cooking, and it's a big part and mechanic of The Sims. You got to eat or your Sims are going to die. By the way, I'm the worst Sims player. I once played Sims 4, and I think my guy ended up adopting a kid, and then he died, and then his adopted son died. I don't know. It was a really depressing story, and I never played The Sims again. The Elixir soup in The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. I don't know if you guys remember this. It looks delicious in its 8-bit form, or I guess it's cartoon form. But yeah, this is iconic as well. Moving down the list, we got the sandwich from Team Fortress 2. If you played Team Fortress 2 back in the day, could not forget about the sandwich. And then sea salt ice cream in Kingdom Hearts, believe it or not. Which I don't think I've had sea salt ice cream, have I? I would love to have it. Butterscotch cinnamon pie in Undertale. Undertale is such a heralded game, such a great game if you have never played it before. And get yourself some cinnamon pie inside that game. You're going to enjoy it. Nuka-Cola, which obviously isn't food, but definitely iconic in Fallout. And then let's see. Games that involve cooking. So these are the 20 best games we're going to talk through a little bit here. Food Fight, which was a very old game. We got Personal Training Cooking, which I've never played, but there was a game called Personal Training Cooking, which is number 19. Never played this, but I heard it was good. It's What's Cooking with Jamie Oliver, which is obviously the famous chef. Ad Mason says, it's always wanted to share some sea salt ice cream with some friends on the top of a building. Yes, why not? Pac-Man. believe it or not. Counts. I guess it counts. Eat Fat Princess, which I've heard of, but I've never played. Food Network Cook or Be Cooked video game. Interesting. Never played it. Cake Mania. Never played it. Hot Dog Bush. It was a flash in the pan, but I played it in 2004. We just talked about The Sims. Very, very involved with cooking mechanics. So absolutely a part of that. Don't Starve Together. Great game as well. Great cooking game. Diner Dash, which is a game I've played before. Fat Princess is a game I really need to try. Campfire Cooking, awesome. And I love the fact that there's games just about cooking, because who doesn't love food? Come on. Fruit Ninja, which is a classic. You know what? I could never get into this game. It was a little too much for me, slicing stuff every day. Pizza Tycoon. I actually have this game. I've not played it. As I mentioned, I'm a huge Tycoon junkie, but I never played Pizza Tycoon. Order Up. Looks like a cool game. Never played it. Cook Serve Delicious. Excellent game. Great series. I Am Bread. Hilarious. Great game. I've played that one before. Battle Chef Brigade. Never played that one. Looks like one of those. Looks like kind of like a mix between Tetris or Candy Crush and cooking. Cooking Mama. Of course. Cooking Mama is super popular. A lot of people love Cooking Mama. Cooking Simulator is also a good one, and I think I know what number one's going to be, and it's Overcooked 1 and 2. Overcooked is probably one of the funnest, like, kind of co-op games, just, like, really gives you that vibe of, like, being in a kitchen and the stress of cooking and all that good stuff, so gotta love Overcooked. Now some really great moments in, you know, in games. I think Red Dead Redemption 2, just the mechanics of cooking in this game, it's so cool from the visuals and really making you feel like you're cooking this really good stew, buying the ingredients, just really an excellent portrayal of, you know, cooking and the importance of cooking in video games. Super Lit Mario, Mamma Mia, first time in chat, my friend. Wow, I can't believe it's the first time in chat. What's up, man? Shout out to Super Lit Mario. He's one of the coolest guys in the internet. He does a lot of content in the a lot of adult content in the retro world. What's up, dude? It's so good to see you, man. And he's also been on the show. We had a great episode with my boy there. What's up, man? Thanks for stopping by. It means a lot. First episode of the new year. But we're at the tail end of it. We're at the tail end. But obviously, cooking in Red Dead Redemption 2, outstanding. Really great. Moving on to, obviously, Breath of the Wild. The way they introduce Breath of the Wild into cooking and just the love of cooking in this game is so cool. I really love it. And I know that if you've played Breath of the Wild, you've got to love it. Superlit, how you doing? I turned my notifications on and you appeared. You are turned for a podcast soon. Yes, you are turned for. What does that mean? Does that mean you have a podcast now, Superlit Mario? If you do, I'd love to be on it, of course. But we shout out to you, man. We've had you on before. We had a great time. Oh, look, we still got the command in there. You can check out Superlit's TikTok right there. He's super funny. Carly, what's up? Welcome. We got a lot of first-time chatters this year in 2022. Welcome to the chat. I love it. Oh, my podcast. Yeah, dude, I'd love to have you back. We'd love to have you back. Actually, I wanted to kick off this year with just me. That's why I don't have a guest today, because, you know, it's the first podcast of the new year. So it really meant a lot to kind of kick it off with just like kind of like having fun with me like I do with, you know, we usually have guests, but we usually don't have guests. King Hippo over there, he's just chilling. Carly says, yes, I think you interviewed my friend a while ago. He recommended you to me. Do you know who your friend is? Who did I interview that you know? And welcome, Carly. Welcome to the CafeBTW. Pull up a chair and grab some coffee. No way. Hi, Nightbot. I'm starting a new podcast series. I meant it's your turn to cast on my show. Oh, hell yeah, man. Give me a ring. You know I'm here. You know I'm here for it. I'd love to support your podcast, my friend. And I'd love to be a guest. You need to have the Andy voice on your podcast. So I'd love to be a part of it. Another game, probably my favorite game that just remember like throwing things into the stove in Minecraft and standing there and looking out into the outside your door of your Minecraft house and enjoying the day while you're cooking on your stove. I think you interviewed Richard, video game. Yeah, we had Richard on not too long ago. We had a great podcast about video game restoration. Absolutely. You could check him out because Genzo has his command there. We have all of these wonderful guests we've had on the show, so you could check out video game restoration as well. Great guy. I'd love to have you on. Well, you know where to find me, my friend. DM me. We'll get it going. I love it. The Andy voice makes every podcast better. I appreciate it, man. You know what? I never thought I had much of a voice for radio, but I've been podcasting since 2013. And I guess, over time, my voice has kind of turned into this like Andy VO voice. Because if you go to my TikTok, which I don't know if Genzo has my TikTok link, but you could hit it on my profile. I usually do voiceover content on TikTok. Because on TikTok, I like to do more docu stuff with my voice and explaining. So you're not just looking at my face all the time. You get my face here on my podcast, but not on my TikTok. And yeah, you can check out all my things there. And there's Ryan's stuff because we've had him on the podcast. We got all the commands still in there. Thanks, Genzo. And shout out to Genzo. Can we give it up for Genzo Chicken? He's been the best mod I've ever had. He's been my only mod. And that goes for my Discord and just supporting the podcast since the very early days. Let's shout out to Genzo Chicken there, who's been the awesome mod. Thanks, man. Really means a lot, all the support. So yeah, Minecraft obviously has been an awesome example of food in games. And you know what? I want to see more and more, as games progress, I want to see the mechanic of cooking, really come alive in video games. And I think games like open world games, you could really stand out. Sorry, what was your TikTok? Just trying to find it to follow you. Genzo, can you share my TikTok for Carly in the chat? But actually, Carly, you could click on my profile if you go to the About. My TikTok's right there. And then there's a link to all my socials below. So my TikTok should be on there. But yeah, please check it out. It's called CafeBTW. Originally, I created the TikTok. Yeah, he's sharing everyone else's stuff, but he can't share the host's TikTok. I get it. Oh, Newbie, what's up, man? It's so good to see you, dude. Thanks for stopping by. I am a newbie. Man, there's been a lot of people here. And thanks, Carly, for following. I've been one of the OG retro gamers on TikTok for quite some time. Well, you better figure out a command for the host's own stuff. I don't even think you have any of the social media for me in a command, but it would be nice, I guess. But no, I'm just messing with you, man. But I think you could just click on my profile if you want to find my stuff. So yeah, 2022, there it is. 2022 is a new year, folks. We're gonna be taking 2022 to the next level. I have a bunch of podcast guests coming on. Also, really excited. Coming up in February. Let me search for it. Is the Socal Retro Gaming Expo, and I will be attending this. It's this awesome celebration of retro gaming. It's like a huge event down in Orange County or Ontario area of California, which is a little bit outside LA. Got a bunch of people like Pat the NES Punk. I actually know Kevin personally from Clubhouse days. The Completionist, a bunch of other awesome things. I'm going to be there doing some videos, finding retro games, so I can't wait. I'm probably going to do a live stream from the event because the podcast will be that Saturday, but we're going to do a live stream at the Retro Socal Gaming Expo. I am so stoked for this. Now, I have a surprise, but I got to make sure it works, and I don't think it's working today, unfortunately. It doesn't look like, unless I'm trying to get Stream Racer working, guys, but it doesn't look like it's working. So I don't know if we can play Stream Racer, and I really apologize. I was trying to get it to work today, but it seems like something's down. Oh, dude, you should meet me at the Expo, dude. Here's a link to the Expo, everyone, if you're interested and you live in the SoCal area. It's February 26th through the 27th. I've already been in touch with them because I'd like to do some press for them and shoot at the event. I'm really excited to cover this and get back to in-person events. I know Omicron and everything, but I'm definitely going to go to this in February, double masked, and just love supporting the retro community. It's what I do, folks. I'm here for you. This isn't just about me. I don't do this podcast for me. I do it for you to share the love of retro gaming, the love of what I do every day. If you look at all my socials, Twitter, Instagram. It's all retro gaming all the time. You know, I think really when I hit the pandemic, I went full on retro gaming. And I'm really happy to be a part of this community. And that attributes to all the amazing people that have supported me. And I love supporting you guys. So, you know, just remember, I'm here for you as much as you're here for me. So it means so much. Carly says, me, a Canadian, Ontario, nice convention. Well, Ontario, California, unfortunately, but not Ontario up there. I wish. But Carly and all these new people that stopped by today, it really means a lot to me, guys. Look at this. We've had so many episodes over the course. And look, there's Super Lit Mario. I'll give you a look at his episode real quick. He was on the show. He's down here. Wonderful, wonderful face. Look at him. Glorious face that he has. Good guy, great guy. He was just in the chat. Let me see. Just so many amazing episodes, guys. We're over like 65 episodes we've done on this podcast. I'm really proud of it. And hopefully we'll have more and more to come on the podcast. But that's really it for me, guys. Today, you know, it's the weekend. I'm so excited to come back after a hiatus. We're going to find someone to raid today. Let's see here. Let's see who we could raid, everybody. Let's see. Maybe we raid someone new. Oh, thanks for the Dave 040. Thanks for using your Prime sub to support the CafeBTW podcast. And welcome to the CafeBTW podcast, my friend. It really means a lot. Just looking for some of the raid guys, so give me a second. Let's go to the retro category, and we'll just raid someone random that's playing a retro game. Let's take a look at these channels here. Let me pull it up here so we can look together. Actually, no, I'm just going to pick someone random here. And then we're gonna get out of here today. It's been fun. Let's see. I'm looking at...
So I contacted them. I'm like, we're developers.
I got this guy going. One sec, guys. Let's see. This guy looks cool. I don't want to go to someone that has a lot of viewers. I want to go to someone that needs viewers, you know? Let's give some love to another retro gamer, a brand new retro gamer. I'm looking and looking and looking. Here we go. This person looks... No, they're speaking another language. So that won't work. I don't know. There's no one online that oh, wait. Yeah. Let's go to the Nino Poke Bros. You know, he plays a lot of Pokemon, but he's a really good buddy of mine. And I want to support this guy. So we are going to go to Nino Poke Bros. He's an amazing, amazing guy. So let's raid him. And just wanted to say thanks again, everyone. Remember, wash your hands. Be nice to everybody. This is a year where we find change, progress, and maybe get out of this thing. I don't know. But there's nothing better than being able to do a podcast with everyone and be here with all of you. So thanks so much again. And another shout out. Check out the Gamers Week podcast. My buddies Retro Game Brews. Really cool if you're looking for a new podcast. And other than that, let's give Nino Poke Bros a shout. Love you all. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.
That's